La the Moon Goddess, what's up? I am on top of the planet. I just saw a rocket go off SpaceX. I'll make it a short. I took footage of it. I just saw some SpaceX rocket shoot off into the sky over Los Angeles. They took off. They took off Vandenberg Airport or Vandenberg Air Force Base, a little north of here. Welcome, y'all. This is Set in the West. This is Wolfgang Amadeus. I am above Lemert Park right now. If y'all want to see, this is Lemert Park. What's up, ACG? What's up, Makia? Actually, that's downtown LA right there. Way over there is downtown LA. But this is the most, the historic Lemert Park is right here. Shout out to Lemert. They down there with the drum circle. I will be over there after this live. What up, Myrna? What's up? Donut Marys, what's up? Yeah, man. It's Can y'all hear me good? I just want to make sure I'm I'm good to go. Um, yeah, a lot going on today, and a lot going on for whatever reasons. I'm still trying to figure out why are people saying certain stuff. Why are they bringing light to certain things? So I'm gonna get into that in a second, but I kind of wanted to set the stage. Hold on, let me do this real quick. What is up? Can I get a real? All right, I guess I'm stationary here, but y'all probably can't even see me that well if, depending on how everything is stationed. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. Let me do it like this. All right, give me a second. I'm still trying to figure out something. Yeah, y'all. What's up, y'all? I don't know how I'm gonna position this. I don't know. I don't know. But y'all can see me pretty good, right? I just don't want to mess up nothing. I don't want to mess up nothing. I'm gonna stand right here, the flight path. Oh no, that's actually the ghetto bird. I thought that was the flight path. The flight path is actually that way. LAX is that way. All right, you can see me fine. You can hear me fine. Great, great. I just wanted to touch up on a subject not a lot of people are probably not going to talk about because I guess it's a little touchy, it's a little controversial, and it's about Assata Shakur. Rest in peace. It's about Tupac's godmother. For those who don't know, Assata Shakur is Tupac's godmother. She passed away a couple of days ago. What was it? The 25th September. Assata Shakur. She was born. That wasn't her birth name. That was the name she was given, but her given name was Joanne. She's a member of the Black Panther Party, later the Black Liberation Army, and she was convicted in '77 of a role in a powing out that unalived a state trooper. I'm gonna get more into that later. Um, have always said that she was unjustly targeted, just like Tupac's mom, Afeni Shakur. She was unjustly targeted, and actually, there's proof that she was physically incapacitated during the confrontation. And in 1979, she escaped her Black Panther Party. brothers and sisters broke her out of that prison in what part of Jersey was that prison in? And I'll get to that later. But they broke her out of that prison, and she fled to Cuba in like 5 years later, like 84, 85, and she lived there in exile. The Cuban government, Fidel Castro, gave her asylum, and she was there. She was there. I know a lot more to the story. I'm just not gonna say it, but I'll just say it like this: I've sat down with Panthers, and as a documentarian, there used to be a lot of the OG Panthers who would do a breakfast every other Sunday in LA. And I sat down and got to know a lot of them, and just heard stories, and took it down in my notes, and heard a lot, just heard a lot. And it's unbelievable. It's very unbelievable what happened to them. But they were, for the most part, targeted. And Assata Shakur was, what would you say? She represented a resistance against systematic racism, police brutality, and state repression. Her life remained polarizing, and that's what even in her death, it's her life is her. The speaking on her is very polarizing. When I had mentioned the conviction that she was convicted of, or they found, this is what they found. They found evidence, or they convicted her of actually unaliving a state trooper, uh, Warner Forster. Rest in peace to Warner Forster. And all this happened in '73. Then she got convicted in '77. During the trial, though, they even mentioned that Assata had her hands up, like, and ended up getting pow pow in her clavicle during the beginning of the pow powing out. So how could a jury convict her of unaliving someone when she clearly got, you know, injured and she had her hands up? If we were to revisit the case, everyone would say and see, oh yeah, there was something going on. There's an injustice. That's just hindsight 2020. Looking back, it's like, oh, okay, something happened. Maybe not like how they said it happened, but something happened. Now, the reason why I'm even doing this live, and I'm gonna just get right to it, the director of the FBI, Director Kash Patel, he declared anyone that mourned the late Assata Shakur, if you were mourning the late Assata Shakur, you're spitting on the badge and the blood of every cop who gave their life in service. So that was some sharp language. I'm gonna just say it like that. You got to pay attention to what was being said. Again, he said spitting on the badge and the blood of every cop who gave their life in service. Very harsh language, if you ask me. Patel, grief. Um, hold on, let me add Jag to it. So for Patel, grief expressed towards Asada basically is not misplaced, but it's an act of insult towards law enforcement as a whole. Now, this remark comes in a climate where, like, similar moralistic arguments that have been raised in other contexts, like when other public figures were criticized for mocking the death of Charlie Kirk. But in both cases, these stakes are not just about the individual, but it's the symbolic weight attaching to the mourning and the mockery. What up, Jack?
Hey, what's going on?
I just wanted to get started. You already know I get going. I wanted to get started on the topic at hand. I titled this "How Long Will You Mourn Me?" In remembrance of Tupac. Rest in peace to Tupac. I did a little
Yeah.
backstory about his godmother, Assata Shakur, who was um, exiled, who escaped from prison, escaped from escaped to Cuba, who had just recently passed. She's been in Cuba for 40 years, 39 years,
Yeah.
and she was essentially. I'm going to say, for the most part, if you look at the story, if you look at the case, it looks like she was framed for the unalivement of a New Jersey state police officer, state trooper, Tom Forrester. Not Tom. Was his last? It was name is Forrester. But he was a Werner Forrester. I'll say Tom Werner Forrester. So let me not say anything that's incorrect. I try to say everything that's right and exact. So this happened in '73. Overall,
Before
they
either one
convicted
of us were
her.
born.
Right, oh yeah, but well, before a lot of us were born. I think even before Kash Patel was born. I don't think he was even born in '73. But um, I just wanted to kind of just highlight a little bit of the hypocrisy. So number one, rest in peace to that state trooper who lost his life during that shootout.
And number
Or
two,
Pow.
don't forget to hit the like. Come on, we got 200
Oh
some
yeah, yeah.
odd
Oh,
people
come
in this
on,
room.
come on,
We should
y'all.
have at
Y'all,
least
we could do
100
better.
likes.
We could do better, y'all. Hit the like. Hit the like, please. So the situation at hand though goes like she was convicted of powing a state trooper, but there's accounts that Assata hands were up when she was powed in the clavicle. So if your hands is up like this and you get pow boom, how can you bust that up at a state trooper? Like it doesn't even make any sense. I believe she was targeted just like Pac's mother, Afeni Shakur, may she rest in peace, was targeted because if you do your research on the situation with Afeni Shakur, she was actually in prison the whole time for the most part when she was carrying Tupac. And
Yeah.
I'm just kind of baffled at the hypocrisy that's going on right now with the language that people will put out there regarding certain individuals, polarizing individuals. Assata Shakur was a polarizing individual,
Absolutely.
and a lot of people, it is on one side or the other for the most part when it comes to what are your thoughts on Assata Shakur. Some people will say she's a piece of this or she's that. Some people say freedom fighter, put her in the likes of a Harriet Tubman. But for the director of the FBI to come out and say, if you mourn this individual, you're spitting on the badge and the blood of every officer who lost their lives. I'm calling it like it is. It's like that's a little the language, a little sharp, and to me it looks like he's targeting hip hop. If you ask me, because we hold Assata Shakur in a high regard, we hold Tupac in a high regard. Doesn't necessarily mean we uphold lawlessness and injustice in a high regard. We just know what it is. I don't understand him coming out saying what he said. What relevance does that have to do with what's going on right now? So him making that statement, here's the rhetoric. What it does. His statement equating the mourning of Assata with dishonoring all fallen officers. It frames emotional expression as moral transgression. Just because I said, "Oh man, rest in peace to Nipsey." doesn't mean that I hate every blood in LA because Nipsey was a Crip. That it doesn't equate. And then again, it forces a dichotomy, the binary. Either you respect the law, you respect law enforcement, or you betray it. No, it's really about injustice. It's really about producing justice. That's really what it's really about. Using that language where he said the blood, and it sacrifices to heighten emotional states. We were just talking about Charlie Kirk, and Jimmy Kimmel made a statement, I believe, about Charlie Kirk's shooter, and he ended up getting taken off the air. It's ridiculous. That's that, and
Well,
he
I
got he
mean,
got back on.
the thing is he really didn't do that, and we don't have to talk about it. He's back on the air. I'm
Yeah,
let me say just a little something here because you're talking. This is your channel. I'm paying attention to what's going on and what people are saying and what people are doing. First things first, she was one of the greatest rappers that we know is one of the greatest rappers of all time. She was his godmother.
yep,
She was one of the last living historians who had a full, accurate knowledge of his entire life from the time that he was born until the time that he passed away. There aren't a lot of people who have that knowledge. We lost that part of hip hop culture. That part of, she's a mother. When I read her daughter's message to the world, her social media posts to the world, nobody was thinking about why she was in exile. Nobody was thinking about how long it had been. She was just she was acknowledging her mother, but to say that, oh, if you acknowledge this woman, you have no respect for law enforcement, or you have no respect for, that's a huge, 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 huge uh leap to create division where division doesn't need to be. I,
exactly.
it's like I said, that happened so long ago, you know? That happened so long ago. We're talking 50 years ago at this point that happened.
Yep, yep.
50 years.
5 decades.
And, you know, I don't want to be shady, but the question is how is that on your radar?
Boom.
Like I don't even understand with everything that we have going on. There was a whole church where people were just piled up. The church was set on fire. You got all the stuff that's going on with Charlie Kirk. You've got everything that's happening in Congress. You've got all of this stuff going on. And you just need to stop and take the time and say, hey, if you acknowledge this woman who was involved in a situation that happened 50 years ago, and for half a century her life was never the same, if you acknowledge her, I just, I don't know. I don't like
Well,
it. I don't think I don't think it's cool. I don't think it's okay. And it's wild because he's had a lot of people coming after him for a whole lot of different things recently and lately.
boom.
I
Yeah,
mean, he's had people, he was sitting there on the hill being ran down on by everyone. I mean, it might as well have been hell week for someone trying to get into a fraternity or a sorority, the way he
yeah,
got ran down on, and for
yeah.
all of the things that he didn't know, for all of the things that he couldn't give a real answer on. For crying out loud, what's that guy's name? Dylan Roof?
Dylan Roof.
That guy went to a black church and took life and it was one of probably the most polarizing stories that we've had about, crimes against black people in America in the past 15 years. Like, this is recent. And when he was asked about it as the director of the FBI, he could say nothing. He didn't even know what they were talking about. He knew nothing. And they sat there and said, as the head of the FBI, oh, you don't know this? Oh, you don't know that? And he was like, oh, well, I got to get paperwork on it. I got to get paperwork on it. So you can't remember something that happened this recently, but you can sit there and bring up all of these details of a very, very, very emotionally and politically charged case that happened 50 years ago. It's
But he couldn't mention, or he couldn't even recall uh, what happened in Shelby County, North Carolina, and Dylan Roof was taken into custody. You know, they brought that murderer a meal.
I
They
know.
brought him a meal
I
after he
know.
unalive not nine black people at a Bible study.
It's it
We
has
just
been
talking about justice. We're just talking about justice and injustices. That's it. We're not going in on Cash Patel or nothing like that. We're just talking about justices,
this isn't about
injustice.
going in on him. This is just about why this? Why be so vocal to denounce um this situation? And let's be clear, when it came to the Black Panther Party and when it came to the FBI, which was, in the era of J. Edgar Hoover, who was more compromised and FBI director than anybody could possibly ever say. All of the videotapes, all of the wiretapping, all of the stuff that was going on. It's bro, like
Yeah.
that was a long time ago. And if you're not going to talk about all of the details, it's just, how do you ask for so much grace and so much sensitivity with one thing and then create a situation where you're trying to make people feel bad for honoring the life of a very polarizing and brave and outspoken black historian. You can call her whatever you want to call it, but she was a black historian. She was a historian of black culture, of black struggle, of black all of these things. And it's just, I and it's like you want to demonize people for acknowledging her existence. You want to demonize people and say, oh, if you acknowledge her, then you're lawless. You don't care about law enforcement. And now you're going to put it on everybody that's ever wore a badge. It's just, I just
The
I'm
implication that he is putting out there is that grief becomes a political act subject to moral policing. Like I said, pay attention to that language of how he said what he said, and
It's almost
there.
like you're saying it because you want people to come out and say something crazy. It's like you
Right.
want to push people into saying something crazy. Why is everyone in this country right now that's sitting in a position of high politics or high law enforcement trying to create what's looking like a racial divide that can't be come back from?
That's what they want, and more tension. The tension that happened when people mocked the unalivement of Charlie Kirk, rest in peace. It appears to like basically they were appealing to decency and moral respect. That all that was revoked. But you raise the question: is the standard applied everywhere? Is mourning controversial figures like Assata dishonorable? And if so, is mocking Charlie Kirk's unalignment equally pale? Is it just as effed up?
You want to know what I
I
don't
think not.
understand?
There's no
Jimmy
either
Kimball,
or.
Jimmy Kimball gets taken off of television for making a statement that put certain parts of our government in such not good light. And then Charleston White is still allowed to run all over social media.
Well, Charleston White, that fish eye food, that's a whole nother can of worms.
No,
But
no, I told you, I'm going to be looking very closely at all of the people who are getting punished for what they've had to say regarding the Charlie Kirk situation and all of the people that are not. And I just don't understand. I'm trying to understand how Charleston White is still on the internet at all, how all of his platforms haven't been taken. He literally sat here and he monetized Charlie Kirk's death.
yeah,
He monetized it.
he did.
And
Yeah,
nobody's saying anything about that. Nobody has come forward and denounced him. Nobody is snatching his platform down. Why not?
no. Well,
Now,
see, look.
now, now this week, he's trying to convince everybody that the boy David, who has the car that young woman's remains were
Mm-hmm.
found in, now
Mm-hmm.
he's trying to convince
Mm-hmm.
everybody that he was framed. I don't understand. I'm not understanding, and it's almost just like you want people to start it off. You want people to kick it off. I don't get it.
It's becoming evident. It's becoming obvious. What it is it's about alignments, political alignments, and you mentioned Charleston. Like I said, that's a whole nother conversation. But when you mentioned when you said the situation about Charlie Kirk, and then now we have this with Assata Shakur. Thank you, Auntie Leah. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Let me like that. Y'all hit the like button, please. We got almost 600 people in the building. Got Jaguar right. I'm Wolfgang. I'm a dad. And Miss Lowdown, no, I'm not Jaguar's man. I'm not just Jaguar's man, right? Like she's like Jaguar's man. That was funny. I'm not just that. I'm more than that. What did I say? Um, that's funny though. But shout out to everybody who's in the building. If you listen and if you support us, we appreciate you. We just need a couple thousand more for Jaguar right effect to be 100K. So y'all get on over there and follow that too. You get what I'm saying? Um, but check it out. Political alignment. It's determining like which expression of grief or mockery are framed as like moral violations. So hands off of saying anything about or mocking Charlie Kirk, but if you say something even remotely positive about Assata Shakur, you're spitting on the badge and the blood of every officer, like you're against law enforcement. No, no, no. I would say, let's dig deeper into that case, if anything, and really get down to it. Because I think a lot of times law enforcement in general is hard work. I'm sure it is. I have friends that are a part of it, and it's not an easy task. But the goal is to produce justice. The goal is to, you know, um,
Is that law enforcement's job? I don't know
that's what
anymore.
it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't know. I don't know
That's
because
what.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. And I think for me part of the reason why maybe this hurt my feelings so much is because there's a lot of people that see me as a polarizing figure. I'm a polarizing figure and I'm a black woman and I've called out some things and I've said some things whether or not people wanted to believe me or not whatever the case may be. But I've had people try to put me in the system,
Hmm.
people putting false charges on me, accusing me of doing things that I didn't do. saying things that I didn't say, people using AI, so-called AI
Yep.
evidence to try to frame me. So I know what it's like to be framed. And at the end of the day, I'll tell you a real story. And this happened back in the late 80s. Someone that I knew, who I used to be very close to long time ago, back in Philly. He was accused of committing a crime. He was accused of committing a robbery. And he was very confident that he was going to make it through. He was going to make it through because he had the best alibi in the world. He was actually on a job interview at the federal building.
Oh wow.
He was
Oh
on
yeah,
a
you can't beat
job
that alibi.
interview at a federal building where, of course, they had surveillance cameras. He had to register in, he had to register out. They literally had an affidavit from the person that he did an interview with. It was time stamped when he came into the building, when he left the building, all during the course of this robbery. And guess what? They presented all of that at his trial. Guess what the verdict was?
Guilty.
He was guilty. They found him guilty.
Now, why didn't his evidence exonerate him?
They showed it all to the jury. The jury went in for deliberation and they came out in less than 2 hours. They came out in less than 2 hours and said they couldn't be sure beyond a reasonable doubt that his alibi held up, even though there was an affidavit, even though the person that he interviewed with made it very clear where he was. They said they could have remembered it wrong, even though they had the videotape, the acknowledgement.
That's wild.
And it was an
That's
all white,
wild.
it was an all white jury.
That's wild.
And at 18 years old, he was forced to go to prison for the first time. So, and this was back in the 80s. Who knows who was sitting on Assata's? Who knows?
Yeah. Well, see,
Who knows? I don't like it when people, I don't like it when people start things that don't need to be started. I don't understand why, of all of the things to speak about and all of the things to talk about, why this was necessary. It just,
yeah. See, this situation with Assata Shakur, her conviction and her case is unique to the point to where her conviction of unaliving the police officer, like if it justifies a special outrage, um, people could respond condemning violence or with condemning violence. I
yeah,
mean,
no, I
and
don't.
people free to. No, I'm saying you can still be like rest in peace and still say violence on all ends don't is not a good thing, and we need to be focused on producing justice because there was an injustice with the unalignment of the officer and the conviction of a woman who supposedly have done something but was pow in the clavicle. So, but this language now that the head of all law enforcement over this nation is saying that it's either one or the other. You can't you can't do that. There's no policing or compassion or thoughts or anything like that. Stop it. That's all I'm really talking about. Stop it. We're not going for that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Not in this era. Not with us here. Yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, Jeff, he was
So
found guilty because of the color of his skin. It's people keep
guilty.
acting like America hasn't been going through this for years. People people keep acting like this has been like this has been a perfect judicial system.
Black men are guilty to proven innocent. And then the FBI, if we want to talk about the history of the FBI, we want to talk about injustices where Martin Luther King was unalive and there was a whole
Understand
cover up
this.
behind all
Everything if what if we attacked the new director of the FBI for everything that J. Edgar Hoover did?
that. Right, right. What if we went ahead and said, you know what, Kash Patel, even though you're not part of the CIA, but Bill Casey helped push crack cocaine into the urban areas of the United States in the early '80s, and we got proof of that, and we want to blame you for that.
It just kind of feels like he's been catching so many bad ones, and he's been getting beat up on so badly that he needed to find a win for himself somewhere. I just don't understand why
Yeah,
it needed to be this.
yeah, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous at this point, and I honestly think maybe they were doing this to appease the MAGA crowd, because the MAGA crowd is pretty heated right now when it comes to these lists, this Epstein list, and
What does
not being
Asada
released.
Shakur have to do with any of this? She has nothing to do with any of this. There's no need to talk
It-
about her. There's no need to bring her up. There's no need to bring up her case. There's no need to take her government name and drag it and post
yeah,
mugshots.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's almost as if you're trying to make people emotional so they'll give you an excuse.
Right. Yeah, y'all. It's real heavy out there. I think people are, I mean, there's a lot going on outside of what he said and what we're talking about as well. The situation that happened in Michigan. Rest in peace to those. Now, I think it's four people. There's and President Trump came out and said, this might be something involving anti-Christian, because it was the whole thing with the Mormon Church. I got to look more into it. RIP to all the people and any of the victims. We pray, we're sending healing energy and praying that all that gets taken care of. But there's a lot going on, man. We got enemies within. I'll just keep it a buck, right? If you're a true American, it's time to stand up and you know just produce this justice. And any enemy that's here, they need to be up out of here, because there's a lot going on, y'all. I think it's too. That was just a frivolous like statement, and like I said, it's not a here nor there. It's not a you on this side or that side. No, let's produce justice. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck. If we're gonna talk about anything, keep it a buck, and not inflame. It's not about inflaming certain people. I'm not inflamed at all. I looked at it and I said, huh, this is very interesting. As soon as I saw it, bam, I went on it. But I know I ain't gonna say who. Well,
I'm
one
not
of
gonna
one of the
lie, it,
one
it it hurt my feelings. It hurt my
oh no,
feelings, and I
look,
instantly felt for her daughter. I instantly felt for her daughter.
yeah, it's a couple of people who went under Director Patel's Twitter and just went in on him. Went in on him. I was like, wow. They went in on him on Twitter. Um, and I say, I mean, see y'all people see for what it is. Don't let's not get emotional. And I can understand you being emotional or getting your feelings about it, Jack. Because I like I said, that's why I even said let me talk about it because there's an injustice going on, in my opinion, against you. And you know, there's nobody really here to help try to make this thing right or anything like that. It's it is what it is. And like you said, you're polarizing, and people could look at you, you know, in a certain light. But that's why I'm even talking about it because Assata Shakur, I wanted y'all to look at the facts. Because not a lot of people know that her hands were up. Like not a lot of people know that. Not a lot of people know that. They look at, oh well, that's what happened. She did it. Oh yep, she like it's that 50 Cent. Oh yep, she did that shit. Like that's how they look at things. They don't look at the facts, the plot, the possibilities of there's some injustice that was going
No,
on.
I just all I can think is you know all the details about this, but you couldn't remember anything about Dylan Roof.
Yeah,
It's all I just I don't understand people right now. I don't understand what the goal is. I don't understand why you know, just I don't get it. I don't get it. What I will say is this.
what up, LP?
Anyone who loses a loved one deserves to mourn. They deserve to share the information of the passing with people who support and love them. When people pass away, they're more than one thing, and they're definitely more than one thing that they've done.
Yeah,
You know,
yep.
I when I think about all of the people who were, you know, it's just yeah, I'm gonna shut up before I say something.
Well, we ain't got no more to say, other than oh, let me bring this to your attention. Um, what happened on Twitter today? Why were they sexualizing Candace Owens on Twitter today? Okay, so Candace recently did a video, and I think someone took a clip of her saying something and like her gesture. What was it? Let me actually see if I can pull it up real quick. Um, what she said because it makes better sense if I pull it up and show the context of or wwhatever. Um, oh, and then I told you they still over here calling me gay on Twitter.
For what?
Ah, they said live your truth. Whatever you're trying to hide, you're doing terrible at it. Okay, this is what this is. Let me tell you because I kind of touched on it, but some some dude Ashton Hall. I guess he was a big YouTuber. Or, no. He was a something. He was something on Twitter or comedian. I don't know, but he did a whole skit. It was just real cringy. He's this big buff dude. He gets fired from a job, and then he gets in his car, go to the gas station, tries to put gas in the tank after he got fired from his job. Somebody stole his car, and he's running after the car, and this big swole nigga running down the street, uh, getting chased. Chasing his car, couldn't find it. He ended up going to the studio of all places to try to drop a record. Like this is all in this in the video that he dropped. He went to the studio. Like I don't understand how he had money to get in the studio if he just got fired and he couldn't afford to get gas or whatever. He took all his rage out on the mic, and then he goes to the church. He's crying, and then in the end, it's him with a shirt that says Jesus is King, and he's eating a banana with a rabbit. It's weird. My only comment was, yo, like, why, what's up with this? This is really weird. And why did he eat the banana without breaking it off? Because I mean, that's just me. I'm like, that's real sus. If I don't do the pause game, I'm not Dame Dash, I'm not Cam or Cameron and them. But I just was making a joke. I get on Twitter and I freaking troll too. And I'm like, yeah, this dude ate the banana that way. Like, what's up with all that? But so I'm gay because I called out his banana eating skills. It's just a bunch of weirdos on Twitter. That's really what I got to say. But let me pull up this Candace Owens thing that they literally sexualized her. Um, is this it right here? Hold on. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Listen to what she's saying. To ask those questions. What's wrong with you, Mom? Why are you so scared? You don't. So the way she's looking, that's the way she's looking and the way what she's saying. These dudes on Twitter sexualized her, and I had to screenshot it. Maybe I should have this guy who made the comment about she got a freak in her because someone said something about her JOI is wild. She probably uses the hard ER, and I'm like, so I'm not a gooner like that. So I don't know what JOI meant. So I have to go look up. So I'm up now. I don't even know what these young ninjas be doing. But I had to go look up what JOI meant. If y'all got time, y'all can go look up what JOI means. And they sexualize Candace Owens on Twitter because of that sound clip you just heard, how she said it, how she was looking. I said, y'all are some weirdos. I'm done with Twitter. I'm just done. I'm just done with Twitter. I'm done. I said, these people are weird.
You want to know what's crazy about Twitter, X, or whatever you want to call it? I remember when it first started, I had an account. I remember when they first started selling packages for people to buy subscribers. I remember, the whole thing. And then I started watching what was going on. And then it started becoming about the censorship wars. And then it was, this is going to be a completely free space and people are going to be allowed to say whatever and do whatever. And what I realized is that people just want a place where they can be terrible. People just
Yeah.
want a place where they can go and say a bunch of awful stuff and do a bunch of awful stuff, and then people can clip it up and they can either use it against you, use it to promote you, use it to disgrace you. And I don't know. My thing is, why do you want to why do you want to make why does everything got to be so like it's just some goofy. Like I don't know what the JOI means. I don't want to know. Like I'm priding myself on the fact that I'm priding myself on the fact that I become a square. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm real corny. I'm real corny and I like it. I like it. I like being corny. I like that I don't know what JOI means. I like that I don't know I like that I got an X account and that I couldn't tell you how many people follow me or whatever. Like I like that. I like that I don't know because it means that I ain't tripping off of it. I think a lot of us we spend too much time tripping about it. Like you want to go and you want to start running around and heralding people as gay, but you don't want to call the people out that really are undercover doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You want to go after this woman. There's a million things that people could go after Candace Owens for, but now it's just, oh yeah, 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 yeah. We gotta do this, we gotta do that. Oh, by the way, have you seen the Kanye West documentary? I sent you a link. I
No, no,
found it.
no. I saw some of it. I want to watch the rest of it. I saw some of it. Yeah, it looks very interesting. It looks
Um,
very. Did you watch it?
yeah, I watched it. I watched the whole
Oh,
thing.
maybe we may need to do a. I don't know. I would like to hear your take on it. Maybe I could look at more of it and then we can talk about it.
Well, yeah, I think that would be interesting for us to do a review of it. I Yeah, man. It's it's wild. It's wild. It's just yeah. It's wild. But do you remember right before the documentary came out and Candace was sitting there busy talking about she didn't know whether or not she was in it or whatever, that she knew she was
Yeah,
in it. She
yeah.
she's
Oh,
she
she's in it.
she's such a clout chaser. Yeah, her and Charlie were both in it.
Oh, wow, wow.
Like you
Mm.
need to stop. You need to stop lying. Like I just it's the clout chase of it all that gets me. It's the clout chase of it all. But yeah,
Yeah,
her and
Candace.
Charlie Kirk were in it, and it was her. I'm gonna spoiler alert. I'm gonna throw this part out there.
Go ahead.
The way they were gassing him up to do that whole White Lives Matter thing,
Uh,
the way they tuned him up to do that, yeah, yeah, yeah,
uh, yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So Charlie Kirk was behind that. I know
Her and
Candace was.
Charlie Her and Charlie
Wow.
Kirk were there, and then they had the whole. I guess it was before she got fired, and when he had come to Nashville, and she was sitting there, with her dry erase board, and yeah, because see, everyone knows that Black Lives Matter was a scam, and if you do this, oh, I'm telling you, oh yeah, like she was
Yeah.
pumping him all the way up.
Yeah. Well. Wow.
You need to see it for yourself, but
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna definitely check it out.
well,
What
I
are we?
can't tell you. I wish I could say Mo Gigi, but I can't say where I saw it because I'm not trying to get nobody in trouble. But what I will say is if you go looking for it, you'll be able to
You'll
find it
find
right now.
it. You'll find it. Yeah, you know the vibes. I'm out here, drum circle.
I know
Uh,
it's been so
I
long since
love
I've
it.
been able to be out there to hear it without anybody trying to hunt me down.
Well, no, you'll be back out here soon. You know you love and protect it out here anyway. In fact, I'm right across from the BLM, the Black Lives Matter building. Shout out to Dr. Molina and the grassroots BLM. Shout out to all of them. Yeah, but I'm gonna go a few more minutes and then we're gonna go from there. Of course, they wrapping up business over here in Lamert Park, and yeah, I just yeah, Tilly, that's what these drums will do. You come out here, they don't even want people filming or recording these drums for the most part. But I work with a lot of my brothers and sisters who's part of these drum circles. Shout out to my guy Ray. I think Ray's probably on the circle right now. But yeah, only certain people are permitted to record it. So we're gonna go out with the drums. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go out with the drums. What is this? We got an album out that I was sleeping on.
Oh, and Salute to LaRon. His EP just came out, 33 songs.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
yeah.
bro.
LaRon, we gotta chop it up. I gotta sit down with you and we gotta do a review. I want to hear what you got. In
And
fact,
salute to Set in the West, who's made it to 11,000 subscribers.
yep. Appreciate everybody who's subs and supporters. I see all the comments. I appreciate everything. When I'm putting up posts and I'm clowning, don't think that I'm serious. I know I talked about a movie situation. I was just clowning, y'all. It's not to be taken serious. Some things you gotta laugh at in order to prevent you from getting pissed off. But yeah, I appreciate everybody who was here. Anybody got anything they want to say or they got any questions, I'll go ahead and put that out. I'm gonna go back and start doing them ask me anything too. I think I think we got to start doing that. Ask me anything, but only to the one. I'm not. Don't any trolls come up. You ask me something stupid, I'm gonna ask you for your address so I can pop up. But yeah, man. Yeah, LaRon, we got to check that. I got to check that the project out, man. And I want the people to get a snippet of it. So we're gonna do something about it on Set in the West. Appreciate y'all if you've purchased a shirt. You purchase my merch, you get a DVD or a Blu-ray of the project that I got. That's gonna be one of a kind because I'm gonna actually tuck that away and I'm actually rebranding and doing a whole lot with Set in the West. We're gonna be doing a lot more sit-down interviews with people, and we're gonna be doing a lot more. It's just we just about to flip it on his head. That's all. That's the only way I can really say it. We just about to flip it on his head, and I want to get back to the music. I said I ain't trying to wake my pen up, but I definitely need to wake that MP up, and I need to get my production back on. I got so many vinyl, I got so much vinyl, got so many ideas, and I don't want to get rusty and old. I was just listening, and I'm gonna go out with this. I was just listening. Um, Young Thug went live today. Did you see that?
Yeah, I didn't watch it though.
I watched some of it. I was kind of just in traffic looking, and I was just okay. I mean, I'm tripped out because of his new album project. The cover is a white guy. It's weird. It's Young Thug but white, right? I don't know. But I don't know. It's just. I said, all right, maybe I got to check out his album. People are saying it's trash. He did a live performance though, I guess today at the Fulton County Courthouse of all places, right out front. And yeah, people were it kind of like it was like I was just impressed on how it was laid out, how everything looked, and Young Thug came out and he went ahead and graced the people, did what he did a couple of songs, and then it kind of went off. But yeah. Young Thug went and did his thing today, and I guess people are, I don't know, trying to rebrand. He was told. People said he was a snitch. They say he was this. They say he was that. He got ate up by Glorilla. Glorilla came out and did a diss track to him and Mariah the Scientist. It's like, so I guess he just kind of, he didn't say nothing. He just came out and he just he performed for the people, which is cool. I ain't mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but of course I don't get behind Paul's Young Thug and any of his business because of him and all that other stuff that he do. I'm just not with any of all that. All I'm saying though is I want to get back to real MCing, real musicianship. I heard Nicki's dropping an album. I'm not the biggest Nicki supporter, but I'm actually excited and I want to hear real rap now. I want to hear real rap. And Rhapsody got something new, so shout out to Rhapsody. I want to hear some real MCing. I want to hear some real hip hop. I want to hear something real, and I guess I'm gonna
I
just
want to
have to.
hear something that doesn't make me cringe.
I want to hear something at 432 kilohertz. That's what I want to hear.
Oh, well, good luck with that.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm an hour in. I punched the clock. I appreciate y'all. And yeah, that's all we had to say. Didn't want to get too deep. Didn't want to get too, political. But I definitely wanted to say that about Assata Shakur. Rest in peace. And it's just about time for Americans to produce real justice. You got a whole bunch of people that are hiding behind Democrat, Republican, hiding behind whatever, whatever, and ain't really about the people. It's really about their pockets, or they have agendas that they have to push. And it's time for all that to end. Fuck that.
All I can say is if we're gonna worry about something, let's worry about the stuff that we need to deal with. Let's just stop taking shots at each other. Like I'm sick and tired of the whole shock jock thing. It's just starting to become like real, like it's just it's like people are just going out of their way to have something to say just because they want to get people up in arms about it. And my thing is,
Right.
if you're gonna get people riled up, get them riled up about something that freaking matters, man. Like,
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, man.
but you know.
Oh. Oh, and there was a whole bunch of. Oh, this I might get. Hold on, I might get flagged out of the damn music.
Yeah, y'all, we gotta be careful.
Oh, finally, before I go, shout out to Ice T and Ice Cube. Ice T rocks. That's part of the reason why I still stay on Twitter. Ice T rocks with me on Twitter. Shout out to the G. He's the one that really put the fire behind Set in the West. If y'all don't know, he
Huh.
dropped this documentary. Yo, yeah, he dropped this documentary called The Art of Rap, and that was the same year I met Dr. Funkenstein. And I hit him
Nice.
on Twitter like, "Yo, T, like, see this project is dope because it was in theaters at first." So I hit him like, "Yo, this is dope. I always wanted to do something about whoop whoop whoop. I got Dr. Funkenstein here, whoop whoop." And he was like, "Dr. Funkenstein, that's the legend. You got him. You need to do this project about Uncle Jam's Army, world class wrecking crew, West Coast hip hop." Boom. So shout out to Ice T. He got beat up in the first episode of this new season of SVU. So I told him, whoever beats you up, man, we're gonna pull up. And
I used to be a SVU regular. I can't even remember the last time. I think I lost track of the season like 2 years ago.
I think they're like what, season 30 now. But
Nah, I think it's like 26 or something.
27 or something. Okay,
Yeah.
27. I think. The one the two of the characters passed on. Two of the
Mm.
main characters passed on. What's the one guy? I forget his name. His face is there, but I forget his name. But you know what I'm talking about. He's one of the detectives that worked with Ice on the show.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, two of the characters passed on, so rest in peace to them. The name slips me right now.
See, that's
And
the
then yeah, I
thing.
was
Nobody lives forever.
nobody. But how people remember you lives forever.
Yeah.
How you made people feel lives forever. That's one thing I can say. I can remember people. I've tons of people that have passed on, and I remember the memories, and I can remember if they did something foul to me or made me, uncomfortable. I mean, that's what really matters when it all boils down at the end, y'all. How you make people feel, how people feel about you. I
One
was
one one
talking
two
to,
two two.
there we go. And I'm going to leave y'all with this. I was talking to um, someone just about energy and how certain people don't want to deal with certain people because of the energy that it takes to deal with them. And a lot of these low vibrational people, y'all know who y'all are. Y'all need to really check y'all energy. Y'all, and who you got around you. What type of what are your deeds? What it is that you do? What can people say about your word, your credibility, instead of you? attacking someone else's credibility. You know what I'm saying? Credibility. My bad. I'm saying credible. I'm speaking ebonics like a mother. But
No, but
yeah,
that's the thing. Most of the time, when people are busy trying to go after somebody else's credibility, it's because they're trying to avoid talking about their own.
exactly. Yep.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, y'all. Just don't be one of these people that are just energy harvesting. Because that's what's really going on right now. When I was the title of this topic, it's really about an energy harvest. That's really what it is. Argon energy, getting people upset, yada yada yada. That's why it's like it's good. I came out here to Lamert because this park has always been about good energy. I'm in front of the BLM Center for Black Power. Shout out to them. And this park has always been about good energy. We're not
oh,
about.
don't shout them out. You know what people think about that. They're gonna say
Oh, I
that you're
don't give a. I
scared.
don't. That's family. I don't give. And again, I don't agree with every. I got so much love for Dr. Melina, Kim, all of
I
them,
know.
Joseph.
I
Those are my
know.
folks. Doctor, Baba Akili. We was right here this summer playing dominoes, right here, right in front of him.
You want to know what's
Get,
wild?
get top.
A couple of bad things happen. You get a couple of infiltrators into something, and then it just ruins everything for everyone else. And,
Yep, yep,
I don't even
yep.
think people really know the whole story of how, they were able to. You will talk about that another
Well,
time, but
maybe one day I'll pop up and I'll get the story from the horse's mouth. Maybe that's what I will do. We can do that. But anyway, like I said, I was saying this whole thing was an energy harvest. To get people misplaced energy, to get people, up in arms about yada yada yada. Like I said, the MAGA crowd is mad because ain't nothing being produced with these files, and we know what's up with that. Come to find out, they said Elon was attached to the name, to the Epstein this, and Peter Thiel, and come on, like y'all, man. Anyway, and I was gonna just say shout out to Ice Cube because there was a false rumor running around here talking about Cube's bus was firebombed, and that wasn't the case. They were talking about Antifa firebombed his bus because they thought it was ICE. And that sounds so ridiculous. I knew it was fake. I didn't even report on it. And Q came out and was like, it wasn't his bus. That was his, how you have the main bus, his bus, and then he has the other people that were, attached to the crew. It was that bus, and it wasn't like they firebombed. It wasn't even that. He said it hadn't even happened. It was something happened, malfunction, something caught on fire, and boom. People will that psyops, y'all know what a psyops is, right? If y'all don't, I was supposed to did the book review for Professor Griff's book. We're gonna do that then. I got to do that. We'll talk about what psyops is. Why would they associate Ice Cube with Antifa and his bus being burnt? We'll talk about
well,
that.
that's
I think I'm gonna
interesting
talk about that
because
this
wasn't
week.
Antifa just declared? They were
Yeah,
just declared. So
they were just, yeah.
it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, and all I can say is never be ashamed of who you are. Never be ashamed of what you come from. Never be ashamed of your history. Nobody else is, and we shouldn't be either. And not only that, we need to stop making everything so racial. Like things are getting way too racial these days. It's just way too racial.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm just about America, even though this country could be much better than what it is. That's what it's about. So
All
let's
this
let's not get
division.
it. Yep, too much division.
When it gets to the point where all of your neighbors are now your enemies, something's wrong.
All right, let me get
Peace.
going. We out of here. West West Coast. We out. All right.